Oh yeah, mommy. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter because I'm wearing a yellow shirt. Happy Thursday, motherfuckers. If you're watching the video, God, I'm making a lot of noise. So professional. If you're watching the video, I am wearing a banana yellow shirt. I don't even know when I got this, or where I got it, or why. It is a yellow shirt. Like a banana. I look straight like some dude off of a Blue's Clues episode right now, you know? And that's fine. That's fine. I'm fashion icon enough to be able to pull this off. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows I'm a fashion icon. Do I get accused of wearing the same clothes over and over and over again on stage? Yeah, but you know what? Bars. Because that's what I bring on stage, okay? That's what I'm focused on. I don't want to be too distracting with my outfit on stage. Sometimes, I remember one time I went on stage, I wore black shoes, black pants, and a black shirt. It was when I was like still meshing out what I wanted the art to be. And I was like, yo, by less style on stage, it's going to put more focus on the jokes. Bad idea. I look stupid. I looked like someone who does improv. Stupid. I'm just kidding, you improv people. I once went to an improv show. Stupid. I'm sorry, but I've only been to one. Stupid. It was weird. Stupid. I'll be honest, I think the one that I went to, and I think improv can help your stand-up. I actually would be interested in doing some of it because all it is making you improv. It makes you just get sharper at crowd work and just like reacting to shit. But the one that I went to, it was funny because it was at this place where I do stand-up, and I was like, I'm going to go support this other form of comedy just to see what it is and just, mingle. And I was watching this, and they go, the word is blah, and the actual improv group threw out the word that they were going to be doing this thing in. They didn't ask the crowd for one suggestion, which I thought that's what it was. They came out and were just like, they said what they were going to do, and then they were all doing this like weird coordination thing, and I was just like, hey, this isn't improv at all. You guys have not improvised a single thing. It didn't make any sense to me. To be honest, it was kind of like when a magician is going to do a magic trick and they hold the cards up and they go, what is your card? And then you're like, well, I don't want to show you my card. They're like, no, this is part of the trick. What is your card? And then you go, King of Hearts. And they go, yeah, I knew it. I'm like, hey, you didn't prove anything though. That's what this improv group that I saw, this troupe, if you will. How disrespectful to the army, huh? Calling yourself a troupe. Hey, we're an improv troupe. I've done 3 tours in New York City, Broadway, and Philadelphia. You're like, oh, thank you for your improvised service. I would like to see like some high level improv. That's why I like comedians who can react to stuff and say like that quick little thing when they're on stage. I try to do it. It's one of those things you just gotta get better at it with time and practice. I try to usually like scan the room and see if there's anything I can work on just to try to pull everybody into the set. If they're not paying attention, you kind of got to talk to them rather than talk at them sometimes. I always think it's, like sometimes people check out if you're just like, oh, they just went into their act and they're like, oh, this is definitely a performance thing that they're just running it through. But yeah, improv. I didn't see real improv. I just saw people doing a play and pretending, and they called themselves improv. Even the person who told me to go after, he was like, yeah, you kind of want to see someone else. And I was like, yeah, all right. I'll wipe this from my memory, but can't get the taste out of my mouth. That will forever be the first improv that I ever saw. Yeah, good times. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday. I'm still Wednesday, living in the past. I don't even know if we make it to Thursday. Coronavirus, 2 more cases in Georgia. Oh, Georgia. To be honest, some people tell me, they're like, hey man, coronavirus isn't that big of a deal. I get it, okay? Like, let's really, I joke about the apocalypse and I joke about coronavirus a lot just because it's a hot topic. I try to put a funny spin on it. Obviously, funny is a, personal preference thing. Some people might think this is dumb as shit, stupid. But, I really do think that, I said this before coronavirus even came out, the way that we're going to get wiped out is going to be like a respiratory infection. It's going to be something that is airborne because people just don't give a shit. They don't wash their hands. They go to the gym when they're sick and they don't pick up their dog's shit. Bars. I think that, I do think it's real, but with a little bit of research, and that's why it's crazy that people are getting to the point now where I saw like Costco's were sold out of so much shit. People are panicking. Hey, relax a bit. Relax a bit. And this is why, people are like, wow, you're going to be choking people out during the apocalypse? That's fucked up, bro. Okay, relax, buddy. I am going to be choking people out, yes. But it's because other people just panic. I can't have you. No, I got to be like, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Shh, shh. Your kids will be safer with me anyway. That was dark. But some people panicking. And you have to do a little bit of research. Like, that's why if you just read the news clips and it's like 3 more people dead, Walking Dead music while the news reporter's saying it. 3 more dead bodies. It's really not that crazy yet. I don't know if you know this, but people have been recovering with just regular antibiotics. Like, people, they're saying that it's untreatable and uncurable, but people are recovering with just being put in the hospital. There's people who are being released from quarantine that were infected, and it was something like 70% of the people with coronavirus who had just mild infections. 70% were just mild infections. Only like 6% were critical, meaning they needed like breathing support and everything like that, and really had to be watched around the clock. Were there some deaths? Yes. But listen, most of the deaths came from people over 75 years old. They already got 1 foot in the grave. They already got 1 foot going to heaven or hell. Bars. Truth bars. And that's what's crazy about it is like, some people, the symptoms, like, it might just be you got a little cough. And yeah, that's, and the only thing that's crazy about it is the fact it's just spooky. That's what is scary to me about coronavirus, is it's just spooky. Spooky. Like the fact that you can have it and not show symptoms for weeks. That's pretty crazy. You can test negative and then you can test positive like a couple weeks later. That's pretty creepy to me. And I think that's how it would spread like so fast in so many different places. And people are just idiots. They don't wash their hands or cover their mouth when they cough. Or just stay home. I don't want to out anybody, but someone I know was telling me that at work, there was someone who traveled to fucking Japan, where there was all these active cases, came back, got sick with a crazy infection, went to the doctors. Doctors were like, nah, it's not coronavirus. Then went to work, had sick time, and still went to work and was just covering their mouth with a scarf. Shame on you, okay? That person shouldn't get their tax return. Like, that's how it spreads, is people just not giving a shit about other people. And that's how everything spreads. Everything spreads. Before, coronavirus was so hot. I'm almost tired of talking about it, but I'm still going to talk about it. Got a little bit of juice left in it. whenever someone goes to the gym and they're coughing more, I allow 3 different coughs. You can do this once, then twice. That's your 3rd time. But if I hear a 4th time, hey man, are you sick? Yeah, I had this little thing I'm still getting over. I'm not contagious anymore. Hey, how do you know you're not contagious? You a doctor? You a doctor? You went to school all those years? Nah, get the fuck out of the gym. But in a nicer way, that's how I say it. But yeah, but in the reality of how like severe it is and what's crazy, to put it in perspective, something like there's been a little over 3,000 deaths from coronavirus total in the world. I think every day 3,000 people die from car accidents every day. Like the apocalypse has really been here in our face every single day, and it's 3,000 deaths every single day from cars. None of y'all motherfuckers are stopping texting while you're driving. That's like one of the biggest things. Not stopping at stop signs when it's my right of way and I think about following you to your house, cutting off your head and putting it on my car antenna. You know? But no. Everybody still wants to text and drive. I always thought that was crazy, is that when people start talking about like listen, school shootings, terrible. Kids passing away, that's like one of the worst things I think in the world, is just kids passing away. Everybody wants to relate so much stuff to like hot topics. Coronavirus, the only reason it's in the news is because it's fear, because it's getting people to click on it. That's why it's so big. More people die every year, I think 300,000 or something, from the flu every year. But people aren't like that with, the flu, because it's not as hot. It's not sexy. It's not getting clicks like coronavirus. It's mysterious. That shit sounds spicy because corona's in it. But like school shootings and everything like that, the amount of school shootings related to that versus the amount of like mental abuse, suicide, diabetes, heart disease, all this stuff that people die from astronomically more. People don't talk about it as much. We're not as like aggressive with going after these hot topics. Everybody, gun control. We need to stop this and blah, 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 blah. We need to take the guns away. We need to take the goddamn ho-hos away. We need to take the goddamn Twinkies away. We need to start going after not these gun laws and these gun companies, going after these sugar companies, the people that are really slowly killing people, these pharmaceutical companies, the people that are really slowly killing people, just overprescribing pills, opioids. People accidentally overdose on opioids all the time. Opioids. That's a hard word for me to say in the morning, okay? I still got a little bit of sleep in my eyes. My mind's just chugga, 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 chugga. But it's the truth. Like, it's so sexy to go after things like coronavirus and school shootings and all this stuff that's like, it's terrible. But we got bigger problems in the sense of, like, number-wise. Like, it is crazy. And here's the thing. With school shootings, because I know people get pissed about this whenever you start talking about things like school shootings and like, oh, you don't think it's an issue. Like, that's the thing. What's so stupid about people? What's so stupid about people? You like how I apologize like I was going to change what I said? Bars. Plot twist. If you have even the slightest disagreement with something that's a trigger topic, they think you're against it. I don't think school shootings are good at all, obviously. But it's like, the crazy thing is, like, I'm always one of the people who are like, let's find the cause of this. We can't, like, it's like there's a crack in a dam, and rather than finding where the hole is at, everybody's just trying to scoop the water. We got to keep dealing with the symptoms. No, we need to find the cause. Okay? It's like you have a virus, and rather than trying to get antivirals, you're just trying to get better Kleenex to blow your nose with. Like that's what it's equivalent to when you're not actually going after the hole in the dam. You're just trying to scoop water out. All right, let's just keep taking care of the symptoms. The symptom is the school shootings and these things like that. The real problem is mental health, is a reason why these people are doing this. Listen, you take away guns and these kids now have guns, they're going to find a way. Little Billy's going to be in the basement building a bomb off YouTube, okay? It's just going to be something different. Everybody's like, why do they need automatic rifles? Well, plot twist, most of these school shootings were done with handguns. Shotguns. Wasn't even, automatic rifles. I think like the most famous ones were, but that's what everybody goes with. And I'm one of the people that like, I only will talk about things if I know objective facts, if there's actually statistics. Because I think that's what happens is we get too much with passion. And that's the thing is like, I'm a sensitive, passionate person. But when it comes to anything like in reality that I need to talk about, I only want to deal with facts, only statistics. I have to remove my emotions from it because I'm going to start arguing from an emotional state, and it's going to be based on my like ideology of what I think. Like it isn't right that kids get killed and in school shootings and stuff like that. There is a lot of injustice in the world, which is why I'm like, let's get to the facts. What is really causing this kind of stuff? That's why I don't really even talk about that's why I don't really talk about politics that often. I don't know enough. I don't know. And that's why I get annoyed when people are so matter of fact about what the president is doing in a good or a bad way. They're so sure of it. This is what he's doing. This is why he's doing it. And this is what he stands for. And I'm just like, I don't know that you really know that. Okay? Everybody there's way too many moving pieces and way too much going on to really know what the cause and effect of certain things are. It's just crazy on both sides. And I'm just not educated enough on the political system and how things work. And I'll be honest, I'm sure there's a lot of professional politicians or people who study politics that they don't even know. Because reality is there's so much going on behind the doors. That's why I thought House of Cards was a great show. It used to be a great show, okay? Rest in peace, Kevin Spacey, his career. Because it showed probably what was really going on a lot in politics. All the, behind closed doors deals and blackmailing and guilt and people greasing people's palms, getting their beak wet. I think there's just too much going on that you find out. And that's why they always say when the president they run their campaign with all these ideology and they're all these big plans for change and all this stuff. But then they get there and then once they're president, they're like, oh, this is a lot different than I thought. We have to do this. And that's the thing is it's the same as when someone wants to start a business. For me, running my own company. From the outside, it looks very easy. At least if you see me on the day-to-day that I can make my schedule and I can do this and I can do that. People think, oh, that's great. You get to just shoot videos and then you get to do this and then you get this and then, oh, that's awesome, man. That's lucky. And they think it's luck. Oh, yeah, I could do that. But then in reality, once you're in that position, you're like, oh shit, I have to do so much in the beginning for free. I have to do so much marketing and stuff like that. And so many hours, so many reshoots, different things that you just got to deal with, stuff that you just had no idea were part of the job. All the legal shit, the licensing, the contracts, all the fine print. It's just stuff that you didn't know was part of the job. Different clearances. Oh, someone walked in the back of the video. Oh, now we got to get a release for them. You're oh shit, I didn't know I had to do that. I think any job is like that. And I think it, of course, going to be insanely like that when you become the president, because it's the most powerful position in the world. And I don't know if anybody's good to do it. I don't think anybody is good to be president. I don't think we should have a president. I think that it's too much power for one person. And I don't even think that person really has the power that everybody thinks they have, which is why we have like checks and balance in Congress and everything like that, to make sure that it's not like absolute power like Putin or something like that. But I think it needs to be dissipated. Like, I think it needs to be spread out to like a super team. I don't get why we have it still with technology and everything. Like, it's crazy that our entire world has evolved with technology, but we're still keeping the same archaic political system. Back when they used to write shit with feathers and you would ride a horse with your goddamn vote. Isn't that crazy? You would like you would have one guy represent your town, your city, your state, and he would ride to fucking Washington with your town's vote. And did he change shit along the way? Probably. And he would just with it. That's when we needed this political system. People who need to represent the people. I think local politics is very important. But I think we should change it. I think we need some change. I think we need like a super team, you know? I think we need an alien invasion to make us all come together, you know? I think that would make us like, we need to be the United World Federation. I'm down for that. New World Order. Fuck it. We are pretty much a world order now. If you think about it, like, nah, we're not. I take that statement back. We're still pretty separated in a lot of ways by cultures. I was just thinking with the internet and everything, we're more connected than ever, but it's still pretty far from different cultures, I think, understanding each other and being a certain way. Like, I'll never understand K-pop. Never can. There's like a crazy infatuation. You know what else? I think the internet also makes people look at other cultures weird in some ways. Like when I see, there's like these Japanese videos. That's the thing. Their culture is so different. I've seen videos of them like eating frogs alive, like in sushi restaurants, and they're just laughing and like, and they're like eating it with the chopsticks. Not my kind of thing. Eating live frogs and shit. I'm not about it. I watched WB growing up. You know, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. It's just not for me. What else is going on? Oh, another thing with the political stuff. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden, he's winning, right? He's about to be the president, or the sorry everybody. He's about to be the primary. I thought it was going to be Bernie Sanders. That's what's crazy about the news, is they just make you think, they try to push a certain thing, like, ooh, Bernie Sanders is blah, 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 all over. It seemed like he was going to be the front runner, for sure. I think that they did the same thing with Hillary Clinton. Like, right before the election last time, I thought Hillary Clinton had it. At least just from, my ignorant view on the news, is I'm just like, oh, all these polls, they're trending, that she's going to take it. I remember I was living in Texas, and right before I was going to bed, I was watching it, and I'm like, dude, to my buddy, I'm like, Trump's about to be president. We're about to have you fired and be president. And it was just completely different than what the news said. And this is like, to me, Joe Biden came out of nowhere. I don't really watch the news and politics and everything, but I see it peripherally. And I'll read certain things just to try to stay informed in some way. But I thought Joe Biden was falling behind. Nope. He is, I was reading something this morning that he is well beloved by the black voters. Shout out to the black voters out there getting Biden elected for the primaries. That's literally what they said, is that his endorsement by the black community is what led to him pulling ahead so surprisingly, Shout out to Biden. Shout out. He said some weird things in the news. You never know what's real and what's not. But this is going to be kind of controversial. You can call me an ageist. But when you start Googling these people's ages, why are we letting people who are like over 75 years old run the goddamn country? It doesn't make sense to me. In what field do we still have 75 plus year olds running shit. It doesn't make any sense to me. And no offense to old people, but I'm like, why would you even want that stress in your life at that age? Enjoy it. Cuddle with your grandkids, okay? Take them fishing. You don't need me trying to run the world. Things are changing. And maybe this will be one of the things that when I get older, I'm like, oh, I'm 75 years old. Now I know how to do this. But I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me because I've hung out with 75-year-olds in the sauna. Some of them are just chilling, a lot of them don't understand how the internet works and just regular stuff. And they're just like, well, and I'm just like, hey, it's fine. But I'm just like, why are we, you shouldn't be having to take on these complex issues. And I don't know. I just feel like it would be so tiring. It would be so tiring. I would just want to rest when I was 78 years old. Like, what was it? I think Joe Biden is 78 years old. He looks great. He looks great for 78. But I'm like, do you really want to run the world? Do you really want to do that? You want to just jump in the most stressful job ever? I don't know. At what point, and this isn't me being an asshole, at what point does the brain start to decay? Where it's like you start slowly, because listen, the body's already on its way out. I'm 32. My body's already on the way out, I'm just trying to hold on to the party. I'm trying to dance with the devil as long as I can. But it's like, when does the brain start slipping? And isn't that, but it's like, and this isn't me even coming from like a mean perspective. It's just really just, I'm curious if there's any brainologists out there. Let me know. Speaking of decay, Nashville just got taken out by a tornado. I lived in Texas when there was a tornado. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. I remember all of a sudden it was a crazy wind. There was all over the news. It was like tornado warning in Arlington, Texas. And then you hear it throughout the city when it's actually like getting closer. They have a goddamn tornado siren. And that's when I was like, nope, going back to California. In no world do I want to live in a place that has tornadoes. Can't control it. People want to talk about the fires of California and the earthquakes. I'll take them. Goddamn tornado? Just rips through your home, just tearing it apart. No, I'm not good with that. It's crazy. I think stuff like that, when it happens, it puts everything in perspective of like, oh yeah, this is life. This is reality. It gets too easy every now and then. And you need a tornado to come through and just remind you that you are just a little animal who lost all its fur and living out here in the world. It's all make-believe. The internet, all this society shit. What if you just find out I'm just some crazy person who just like has all these conspiracies and beliefs about the world and everything, and I'm just like, yeah, we're just all skinless animals running around. That's always weird when you have a friend who's really into conspiracies and they just go down a crazy rabbit hole and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize this was you. And before I offend anybody anymore, I've been so offensive apparently on this podcast. I believe some conspiracies. I do. I believe things that make sense. There's some people who they have conspiracies and they want to believe it so much that they disregard the leaning away from it. So they lean into it no matter what. They just want a conspiracy to be true. And I'm just like, I got to run it through the mill of reality. Same thing as when I'm discussing something. I just want to be objective and look at statistics. When there's known conspiracies and it's actually on record that they did certain things, whether to start a war or try to set something up so we could go to war, then I'm like, okay, these are actually records. and this happened. If it happened like this, then yeah. But some people are just like word of mouth. Hey, I heard from a friend who knew his cousin, whose cousin's dog used to walk with someone else's dog, and they said that they were in the Pentagon and they said that. I'm like, not good enough for me. I'm sorry. It sounds juicy, but I'm sorry. Even alien stuff, I want aliens to be real. I really do. I want them to be real so bad. It's just sexy to think that aliens could be real. I think, here's my theory, is that I think somebody should make, this isn't a theory, but I think this should be a movie. Elon Musk is an alien, okay? He's one of the last of his kind, and his Earth or his planet is in trouble, and only he can make it to our solar system, and they only have enough power to get to one place, his whole civilization, and then he is trying to convince us. First, he's going to earn our trust because he's not a human. Elon Musk isn't a human, right? When you hear all this stuff about him, he started PayPal. No human would do that. And you hear about how he doesn't really sleep. And he's super against the robots because you know what's going to happen? AI is going to figure out he's an alien, okay? It's like aliens versus predators. They're just mortal enemies. Aliens and robots, they go head to head because they kind of can balance each other out, you know? He's an alien. He's against robots, but he wants to earn our trust by creating Tesla, giving us all these things, becoming beloved, and now he's starting SpaceX. He's trying to get to Mars, and he's trying to have us build it for him. He wants us to build this civilization on Mars just so he can bring his species over there, okay? That's what we're doing. And here's what's going to be the cool thing. He's going to admit it somewhere along the line. Once they're in Mars and everything, he's going to admit, and we're going to love him so much that we're like, you know what? We knew it all along. And then he's going to take his Elon Musk skin off, and he's going to be a little green alien with antennas. And every hot supermodel that he's ever banged is going to be like, what the fuck? No wonder that sex was out of this world. Bars. Mars bars. Boom. We're back, baby. We're back. We started getting a little too serious with this podcast. I don't know why I do that sometimes. I think sometimes I just start rambling and I have ideas and I just start going down these like rabbit holes. These are the kind of things when, you know, you smoke devil's lettuce and you like are with your buddies and you're like looking at the moon. You just start talking about the infrastructure, man. You just start talking about these deep thoughts. And then they get way too serious. If I'm doing like a podcast, it'll get way too serious. And I've dug myself a hole and I'm like, well, like you ever seen a movie where they get too far into a cave and they don't know how to get back out that way? So they're like, fuck it. I just got to keep digging. And hopefully I start digging up and then I see light and then I scramble for that light. That's how sometimes I get on this podcast. When I get way too serious with it and I start getting down a rabbit hole, I can't go back. I'm like, oh shit, I'll realize it. I'm like, oh, we've gotten way too serious. We just went down this rabbit hole that we don't really know enough about to keep talking about it, but we can't see the entrance anymore, the way out. So you know what? We've gotten all turned around in here, a little Peter Cottontail. We just got to keep going, and we got to try to find light. I'm a little rabbit in those rabbit holes, and I'm lighting matches, and I'm trying to see wind blow on the match, and I'm like, which way is the way out of this rabbit hole that we've gone down? Talking about school shootings and shit. Even I could feel those trigger words. I was like, shit, Evan, why are we talking about school shootings on a podcast right now? There hasn't even been a school shooting in a hot minute. I think we're due. I'm sure there has, actually. I saw something that there was one that they actually prevented, but coronavirus is just taking everything over. No school shootings can get any press right now. The school shooting kids know it too. They're like, I gotta wait till probably next semester. I'm gonna get no airtime for this. And they just disassemble their bomb in the basement. They're like, next semester. Fuck it, I'll study for these finals. And we're back. I think we made it out of that rabbit hole. I'm glad you guys made it through with me. It's weird. As I dive down another rabbit hole. This was only the last thing I want to talk about real quick. There is asteroid is going to be flying next like by Earth. An asteroid is going to be flying by Earth that if it hit us, it could wipe us out completely. This is something that I always forget, and for good reason, because it's just anxiety inducing. There's asteroids that fly by Earth all the time that if they hit us, it would be lights out. I don't know if you know this, if you've ever seen the cosmos, but the moon, I sound like that one guy, Dana Harvey. If the moon was made of prime rib, would you eat it? I know I would. The moon was created by an asteroid hitting Earth and ricocheting and like all this gravitational pull building the moon. So asteroids is how pretty much life started, like the impact from it is what like spurred out. Like, I don't know if you knew this. I'm sure you do. Nah, you don't fucking know this. You guys don't read or watch the cosmos, which I recommend. It's very entertaining and educational, unlike this podcast. The Earth used to just be like unlivable. There was just nothing. There was gas and everything like this, and it was just a dark place. Then it got hit by an asteroid. That asteroid broke off. It created a gravitational pull, because that's the way gravity works around planets that have a gravitational pull, like ours, bars. And it created the moon, which gave us light and everything like that, and it provided a balance with the sun. And then with that balance, it made the right ecosystem for things to start to be created. Like the water, like there used to be like, it's crazy. You got to watch the cosmos. There used to be like ice, rain, and like just gas. And then when it brought the balance, it was just cooking enough to start creating small bacteria in the ocean. And then over time, thousands of years, that bacteria just started changing. And then eventually it turned into us fuck nuggets, you know? And that's what's crazy. That's why we can't take life too serious, because in the big picture, like my favorite thing to always put perspective on how ridiculous the human race is and how we think we've been here forever. We've only been here like a few thousands of years, you know, in reality, thousands of years. Dinosaurs ruled the earth for 300 million. Put that in perspective of how long we've even been around compared to how long their rule was. We're nothing. So whenever you start feeling too entitled and like your safe space, remember this is just the dinosaur space, dino bars. And I'll see you possibly Friday with a bonus Fight Friday, round 1, fight. But until then, remember, I love you.